Hey everyone, welcome back to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and today is February the 25th. I gotta get my dates back in order, but it is February the 25th. We had 12 games on the schedule. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a couple recap videos for NHL games, but let's waste no time. Let's hop right back into the NHL. We are almost at the trade deadline, just about a week and a half. So let's see where teams are at and let's jump right into it. Our first game is the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Carolina Hurricanes in Montreal, where the Montreal Canadiens, they took control of this game right off the hop and ended up winning this game 4-0. This was the first time in over a month that the Montreal Canadiens won back-to-back games. Sam Montembeault, he hasn't played too much in a couple weeks because he was the third string goaltender at the Four Nations faceoff for the Canadiens, but he made 20 saves in this win, getting a shutout in this game. Patrick Laine, he had a very good game for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. He had a goal and 2 assists, while captain Nick Suzuki, he had a goal and an assist for the Habs. As the Habs, they increased their record to 27, 26, and 5. They are only 1-7-1 in their past 9 games, so they desperately needed these 2 back-to-back wins. But they're starting to creep back into the picture. Yes, I don't think that they will make the playoffs, but I am here to be proven wrong. For the Carolina Hurricanes, there is literally 0 goals to talk about in this game for that team, but Freddie Anderson, he only made 14 saves in the loss, and that's just not very good. The Hurricanes, they've been struggling big time as of late, even before the Four Nations face-off break. They had lost 6-3 against the Leafs the other night. They are now 33-21-4. They are having a very good season. But ever since acquiring Mikko Rantanen, they have been a little weak, a little sloppy, and it has sparked conversation about the fact that they might flip Mikko Rantanen and hopefully get something else for him, because it is just not working out. The Carolina Hurricanes, they are only 1-5-0 in their past 6 games. That is absolutely atrocious on behalf of the Carolina Hurricanes and what they would expect from themselves. So the Montreal Canadiens, they win in dominating fashion over the Carolina Hurricanes, winning 4-0. We head over to Pennsylvania, where the 2 Pennsylvanian teams are playing each other. They're doing this back-to-back, not back-to-back, but 2 games in a row, a little bit of a home-and-home stand for these 2 teams, Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, the Flyers, they got the upper hand in this game big time, winning 6-1. Bobby Brink, a guy that you don't really hear of very often for the Philadelphia Flyers, he had 4 points in this game, getting a goal and 3 assists, having an unbelievable night. Noah Cates, another player that you don't hear of too often for the Philadelphia Flyers, having an incredible night. Absolutely incredible night. He had 2 goals and an assist for 3 points on the night as well. Just adding on to the accolades for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight, Tyson Foerster, forward for the Philadelphia Flyers. He had a goal and 2 assists, who also added 3 points to this game. Matvei Michkov, the young phenom for the Philadelphia Flyers, he had 2 assists for the Flyers, so very up and down the lineup, solid performance from the forwards. And 2 of those 4 guys you don't hear of too very often, so it's nice to get that from the Flyers. The Flyers, they have won 3 games in a row, but they are only 26-7, so they aren't having a good season. But these are 3 games that must feel really good in that locker room. Andrei Kuzmenko, he got his first goal as a Flyer the other night, so the vibes are good in Philadelphia right now. John Tortorella, he just lost the championship game as an assistant coach for the state, so maybe not perfect vibes for him, but you got to take it where you can get it. Samuel Ersson, he was on Team Sweden. He actually got to play in this tournament due to illness and injury for the Swedish goalies. He made 22 saves in this game for the Philadelphia Flyers en route to the win. Up until this game, Erik Karlsson, the defenseman for the Pittsburgh Penguins, he was on a very good run of games, but that all came to an end tonight. Philip Tomasino, he was the only goal scorer for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. They are absolutely disappointing. There are rumors that Erik Karlsson could get dumped to a contender at the trade deadline, so that would be very interesting to follow, as he is still chasing his first Stanley Cup of his career. So Dallas has been thrown into the mix. I haven't heard too many other teams, but I wonder how that kind of player would fit in Dallas, and I think it would be very well. The Penguins, they are on a very tough run of games. They have been outscored 19-7 in their past 3 games. That's pathetic. But they have also lost 4 in a row, and they are only 23-28-9. Let's just leave it at that. Let's stop making fun of them, because it is very embarrassing. Alex Nedeljkovic, the goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins, he was between the pipes for the Penguins tonight. He made 32 saves in the loss. Like I mentioned at the top of this segment, these two teams will play again in Pittsburgh Thursday night, so hopefully the Penguins can take what they learned from this game and reverse the outcome. Cates and Brink, they were the two very good players for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. They scored 10 seconds apart in the second period, maybe the third. I forget what it was. I can't remember everything right now, but they scored 10 seconds apart. That is extremely quick, and they each got an assist on each other's goals, which is very cool. So the Philadelphia Flyers, they spanked their state rival, the Pittsburgh Penguins, winning 6-1. Up next, we got the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Dallas Stars in Columbus, where the hometown team, the Jackets, they win 6-4. Kirill Marchenko, he's having a lights out year for the Blue Jackets, a very good story for that team this year. He had 2 goals and an assist in this game. If the Blue Jackets weren't in a playoff picture, that would definitely be a player on the top of a lot of trade bait lists because he's playing so incredibly well. But unfortunately, the Blue Jackets are doing very good, so there's no chance that they're going to get rid of him. Other standout performers for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Ivan Provorov and Adam Fantilli, they each had a goal and an assist in this game. Dmitry Voronkov, he had 2 assists, helping his team along the way. The Blue Jackets, they are 28, 22, and 8, having a very good season compared to what everybody thought they were. The Blue Jackets, they are still holding on to that second wild card position in the Eastern Conference. They are 2 points up on the Ottawa Senators, but they do have a game in hand. But the Senators are also struggling a little bit. So the Blue Jackets, hopefully they can take this and make a little bit of space between the Senators. But as a Canadian, I would like to see the Senators in the playoffs. But at the same time, the Blue Jackets, they deserve this. They really do. They have overcome so much this season, from heartbreak to losing a teammate literally, to just, yeah, they deserve this. And I am kind of rooting for them. Elvis Merzlikins was in net. He only had to make 18 saves along the way. It doesn't seem like you can go a night without Robertson scoring right now because each brother has scored in their past 2 games. So this game had Jason Robertson, and he got a goal in this game, helping his team along the way. He added an assist to his tally as well. Michael Granlund, he played for the Finns in the Four Nations faceoff, and he was newly acquired to the Dallas Stars right before that tournament. So he is still trying to adjust, but he has adjusted very well. He got 2 assists in this game. Jake Ottinger, the American goaltender, he made 23 saves for the Dallas Stars, who are now 37, 19, and 2. They're still having a great year, but this was just a bit of a hiccup. This did end a stretch of 3 games in a row for the Dallas Stars, so they just got to pick it right back up where they left it and just start a whole new streak. For the Blue Jackets, Zach Werenski, the all-star defenseman for them on the blue line, he had a home point streak of 22 games in a row with a point, and that unfortunately came to an end tonight. He did tie Phil Housley for that 3rd spot of all time, which is still an incredible record. You are among the greats when it comes to that record. Marchenko, he missed 2 or 3 games heading into this one due to a broken jaw. He did wear a face protector, so it did look a little junior hockey-ish, but he is still performing at the highest level for this team, and it is exactly what they need. James Van Riemsdyk, the wily veteran for the Columbus Blue Jackets, he scored once again in this game. It seemed like his career was starting to come to an end, and he went to Columbus in the offseason, and he has just rejuvenated his career in a massive way. So the Columbus Blue Jackets, they beat the Dallas Stars 6-4 at home Tuesday night. We move on over to Boston, Massachusetts, where the Boston Bruins are hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs in their last meeting of the regular season. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they came back in a massive way in this game. It looked like it was all doom and despair for the Leafs, being down 3-0 in this game to the Bruins, and I almost turned this game off because it did not look good for the first half of this game. But Mitch Marner, he got 2 goals in this game, one of them being the game-winning goal in overtime. Marner's goal in overtime was at the very end of a very chaotic play. At the other end of the ice, Anthony Stolarz got run over by a Bruins player, and he didn't have a stick. He didn't know where the puck was. It kind of looked like he was hurt a little bit, but then I think it was Matthews. He got the puck to Marner. Marner on the breakaway deked Jeremy Swayman out of his jockstrap, made him look like a fool, and put the puck in the back of the net. Pontus Holmberg, he was the hero in regulation, getting the game to overtime with about 46 seconds left in the 3rd period. Holmberg, he has been a little meh all season long, but he did come up big in this moment. Like I mentioned in the Dallas Columbus Blue Jackets segment, where a Robertson scored, another Robertson scored in this game. It just seems like they can't score if it isn't on the same night. But at the same time, Robertson, he's having a very good run of games right now. He is looking very good. He seems to be everywhere on the ice. Nick, he had a goal and an assist in this game. Anthony Stolarz, he made 31 saves to help the Leafs get the win. The Leafs, they are now 36-20-2. They did overcome a 3-goal deficit, like I mentioned in this game. This comeback did help the Leafs get their third straight win in a row. They were struggling a little bit heading into the Four Nations break, but they have come out on fire, winning all 3 games since the Four Nations face-off. David Pastrnak, he's having an incredible year. He got 2 goals in this game and an assist to extend his point streak to an NHL career high. This is the best of his career to 15 games. He's on fire right now. My fantasy team thanks him. The Bruins, they are having a decent year. They did struggle at first. They fired their coach, and then they struggled for a little bit, and then they were back and forth a little, but they are 27-24-8. That is still a very respectable record. I don't think they're in the playoffs right now, and I don't think they'll make it. I don't think they are good enough to overcome some of these teams. Just to add on to my point, they have lost 4 in a row. They do not look good right now, and I think they had to come out of this break on fire, and they just haven't. After a quick fact check, the Bruins, they are in the 3rd spot underneath that 2nd wild card spot, so they are still a little bit behind, but they are only 2 points from being in a wild card spot. On the other hand, they do have 2 games in hand on some of those teams, so they do need to get some wins, get some points at least. They did get one tonight. The Leafs, they come from behind. They overcome that horrible lead, the 3-goal lead in hockey. It seems to be the worst one, and they win 5-4 in overtime thanks to Mitch Marner Tuesday night. Up next, we got the Washington Capitals hosting my hometown team, the Calgary Flames, where the Flames, they win 3-1 over the 2nd place team in the league. I'm okay with this because the Flames, they win, and Ovechkin gets 1 goal closer. He got his 883rd goal. He is now only 12 goals away from Wayne Gretzky's record, and I cannot wait for the night that he does it. This was also his 30th goal of the season, which is absolutely insane for the age that he is, and he just will not slow down. This was his 19th season of his career getting 30 goals. This guy just does not perform. It's incredible to watch. Let alone getting 30 goals for 19 seasons of your NHL career. This was his 4th goal in 2 games. Yes, he got a hat trick in one of the games, but it doesn't matter. He is still outperforming 90% of this league. The 3 goal scorers for the Calgary Flames, Martin Pospisil, he only has 4 goals this season. Yes, he's a bit of a grinder player, but it's nice to see him score. Matt Coronado showing off his beautiful release off his wrist shot. And Jonathan Huberdeau having an absolutely resurgent season, getting his 22nd goal of the season. Everybody in Calgary, even including my boss, he started saying, just trade Huberdeau. Get a bag of pucks for him because he's useless. I disagreed with that. I didn't think he was useless. Yes, he was massively underperforming, but this season he is earning his money. Darth Vader, Dan Vladar, he was in net for the Calgary Flames, and they move into a wild card position over the Vancouver Canucks. It is going to be a tough battle all the way to the end of the season with this Vancouver Canucks team, and it is going to be so exciting. It could be heartbreaking, but it's going to be fun to watch. I really hope that there's playoff hockey in this city this year. The Flames, they are 28-21-8. They have won 2 games in a row after losing 3, so it's desperately needed. Logan Thompson, he was not on the Canadian team. I heavily criticized that, but it turned out good, obviously. Thompson, he made 22 saves for the Capitals, and the Capitals, they drop. They're still incredible to 38-12-8. Absolutely incredible season. They are still 2nd in the league, and this just proves to a lot of people that the Flames, they are here for serious. They are here for keeps, and yes, if they put their mind to it, they can beat any team in this league. And tonight, they shut it down. They got a 2-0 lead nice and early, and they shut it down, played very good defensively. Just to add on to the positivity for the Flames, this was the Washington Capitals' first loss in regulation since November 23rd. Several months since they lost at home in regulation, and the Flames went into the barn and did just that. Huge win for the Flames, and that must just be a massive confidence boost for that squad. So the Flames, they win in a very impressive fashion over the Washington Capitals 3-1 Tuesday night. This next game, it is a tale of two teams, that one doing very good, one struggling big time. This time it was the Tampa Bay Lightning. They beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-1 at home Tuesday night. And this was the Tampa Bay Lightning's 6th straight win. This was the Edmonton Oilers' 4th straight loss. So two teams, one could have gotten a loss and just kept on chugging, but the Edmonton Oilers, they're starting to make a pattern of losing, and I'm kind of here for it, but at the same time they need to get stuff figured out, and I'm kind of wondering if they might panic buy at the deadline. Nikita Kucherov, I absolutely hate the guy. I think he's a dirty rat. But at the same time, he's an absolutely incredible player. He got 2 assists in this game, helping his team along the way. Andrei Vasilevsky, the Russian goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning, he made 23 saves for the Lightning. And the Lightning, they are 33-20-4. They are maintaining that 3rd spot in the Atlantic Division. It would be a Florida battle in the first round of the playoffs if things ended the way it could. So I kind of hope it does. The Leafs, they would be playing Columbus. We have nightmares the last time we played Columbus, but it's a whole new year. It wouldn't be an Edmonton Oilers game if Leon Draisaitl didn't score. And he did it again. He scored for the 6th straight freaking game. And he is by far going to win the Rocket Shark. I don't think anybody's going to catch him at this point. Leon Draisaitl, he is also on a 9-game point streak, having a very, very incredible season. Stuart Skinner, he was in net for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. He made 33 saves in the losing effort tonight. This game was pretty much exactly how you would want it for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got the lead and just held on to it. It was nothing crazy happened in this game. It was just a run-of-the-mill late February game where nothing too much happens, not too much drama, just in and out. Thank you very much for the 2 points. Talk to you later. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they win 4-1 over the struggling Edmonton Oilers. Up next, we got the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Anaheim Ducks, where the Buffalo Sabres, they also come from behind, winning 3-2 at home. The Sabres, they scored 3 straight goals in the 3rd period to make the comeback, so that is very impressive from a team that is actually looking not so terrible right now. The 3 goal scorers for the Buffalo Sabres in the 3rd period was JJ Peterka, Henry Jokiharju, and Alex Tuch. Dylan Cousins, that is a sought-after name in the trade deadline conversation, so keep an eye on that. He had 3 assists. He had an assist on each goal, so that is very good contribution from that player. The Sabres, they're still not a very good team, but they are 24-27-5, and if you put into consideration that they lost 13 straight games earlier in the season, it's not so terrible. They are 6-1-0 in their past 7 games, so they are playing very good hockey right now. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he made 16 saves en route to the win. The Ducks, they thought that they had this game all wrapped up, but Mason McTavish and Leo Carlsson, they both scored for the Anaheim Ducks. The goalie, Lucas Tosal, he's having a pretty good season so far this year. He kind of slipped up in this game. 32 saves for the Ducks. The Ducks, they are now 25-7. They had lost in regulation for only the 2nd time in their past 10 games. So this is another team that is supposed to be absolute dog crap, and they are not looking terrible. Jokiharju's goal was the game-winning goal just about halfway through the 3rd period, where he ripped it right past underneath the crossbar in the back of the net for the win. The Buffalo Sabres, they win against the Anaheim Ducks, winning 3-2 at home. We move to the state of New York, where the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders are facing off in Long Island, and the Rangers, they take control of this game, winning 5-1. Johnny Brodzinski, he was the star player for the New York Rangers in this game. He got 2 goals in the 1st period and added an assist. I can't talk tonight. That's okay. It's the first game back. But the Johnny Brodzinski, he had a very good game tonight. It doesn't help that these players have some tricky names, because the next one is even harder. Urho, I don't know. Vakanainen, he got a goal and 2 assists in this game. JT Miller and Matt Rempe, the giant forward, they also scored for the Rangers, helping their team along the way. They have won 2 straight and 3 of 4, so they are looking pretty decent coming out of that Four Nations break. The Rangers, they are now 29-25-4. Igor Shesterkin, he was in net for the Rangers tonight. He made 36 saves along the way, helping big time. The lone goal scorer for the New York Islanders was the defenseman Alexander Romanov. The Islanders, they're still not very good. They are 25-7. They have an identical record to another team that we're going to be talking about tonight. They have lost 4 games in a row. Ilya Sorokin, he started this game, but he let 5 goals in on 11 shots. That's pathetic. You cannot play in a hockey game if you're letting that many goals in. So he got yanked, and in came Jakub Skarich, the rookie goaltender that we talked about right before the Four Nations face-off. He stopped all 7 shots that he faced in this game. Another moment in this game of note, defenseman for the New York Rangers, K'Andre Miller. He left the game with a lower body injury halfway through the second period. Adam Fox, the right-handed defenseman for the New York Rangers. So they lost a left-hand shot and a right-hand shot in this game. Adam Fox, he left early in the third period with an upper body injury. So the Rangers, hopefully those 2 players are okay, because those are 2 very important pieces of that defensive core. The Rangers, they win against their state rivals, the New York Islanders, winning 5-1. Tonight was a night of the comebacks, because here are the Detroit Red Wings. They were down 2-0 in this game. The Leafs were down 3-0. There were other teams down. And the Detroit Red Wings, they win 3-2 against the Minnesota Wild. Simon Edvinsson, he scored his first ever multi-goal game of his career. That's a huge accomplishment. He scored twice to help the Wings along the way, getting the win. Vladimir Tarasenko, he's kind of not fit in as well as some people would have hoped in the Detroit Red Wings locker room. He's having a bit of a slow season. He only picked up his 8th, I think, goal of the season. So his name has come up a little bit in trade rumors. So I don't know if that'll happen. If the Wings are playing as good as they do, why would you kind of mess with the mojo? I don't know. The Wings, they are 30, 22, and 8. So they're having a very good season after they fired their head coach. They have won 2 games in a row and 9 of their past 11 games as well. They are 9-1-1 in their past 11 games. That's extremely good. But at the same time, it does seem like the Red Wings, they do go up. They play very well, and then they crash like crazy. So hopefully they can kind of steer the ship and keep chugging along. Cam Talbot, he was in net for the Detroit Red Wings tonight. He made 22 saves along the way, helping the Wings get the win. The 2 goal scorers for the Minnesota Wild was Marco Rossi and Jakub Lacko. I don't know. Minnesota, they're still having a very good season. They are 34, 20, and 4. They have lost Eriksson Ek for the time being with injury. So hopefully without Kaprizov and without Eriksson Ek, 2 very good forwards for their team, that they don't fall off the edge of a cliff. And yeah, let's just hope the Wild can maintain this. Philip Gustafsson, he was in net for the Minnesota Wild today. He only had to make 13 saves in this game. So that means he only had 16 shots put on him tonight. So the fact that he let 3 out of 16 in, not very good, in my opinion. So the Detroit Red Wings, they continue to stay hot. They beat the Minnesota Wild 3-2. There have been a ton of high-scoring games in the NHL since the Four Nations break. It's almost like it's the beginning of the season where it's just pure offense. And this game that we're about to talk about was not an exception. The St. Louis Blues, they win 7-2 over the Seattle Kraken at home in St. Louis. Robert Thomas, he continues to have a very good run of games. He extended his point streak to 7 games in a row. He had a goal and an assist in this game. Zach Bolduc, he also had a very good game for the St. Louis Blues. It seems like everybody had a good game for the St. Louis Blues tonight. But it was Bolduc that had 2 goals tonight. Cam Fowler and Oscar Sundqvist, they each had a goal and 2 assists in this game. Very impressive nights from those 2 players tonight. Jake Neighbors, forward for the St. Louis Blues, he also had a very good game. He had a goal and an assist. The Blues, they aren't having a very good season though. They are only 27, 26, and 6. They are 3-0-1 in their past 4 games, so they are looking better. Jordan Binnington coming back from that heroic overtime performance for Team Canada in the finals against the States. So maybe this could catapult their season and they do something funny, but I don't think they will. Speaking of Jordan Binnington, he made 25 saves along the way for the win for the St. Louis Blues tonight. The 2 goal scorers for the Seattle Kraken tonight, it was also the 2 last goals of the game, so it was 7-0 at some point. That is boring for Seattle Kraken fans. Hopefully not too many made the trip over to St. Louis because they had an absolute stinker. The Kraken, they are only 25, 31, and 4. They had lost their final 2 games. This was their final 2 games of their road trip, and they lost both of them, so it's not very good heading back home. They allowed 2 goals on 6 shots as well in this game, so just not good overall by any means for the Seattle Kraken tonight. For the Seattle Kraken, the game got absolutely out of hand when the Blues, they scored 4 goals in a matter of 7 minutes in the second period. So crap hit the fan, if you know what I mean. Moving on, let's just leave this game where it was. It was embarrassing from the Seattle Kraken. The St. Louis Blues, they absolutely lit them up, and that is a team, the St. Louis Blues, that have not done that very much this season, so it just speaks to the volume of how bad of a night it was for the Kraken, where the St. Louis Blues, they win 7-2. Our second last game of the evening is the Florida Panthers taking on the Nashville Predators in Nashville, where the Predators, they lose 4-1 to the Cats. Sam Bennett, the hero, or one of the heroes for Team Canada the other night, he got a goal and an assist in this game. Captain of the Florida Panthers, Alexander Barkov, he also had a good game in this one. He got 2 assists, leading his team by example. The Panthers, they are now 35-21-3. They're right behind the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Atlantic Division, so they go punch for punch right now. Each team's winning a game, win a game, win a game, win a game. One of these teams has to pull away. The Panthers, they have won 3 of their past 4. Spencer Knight was in net for the Panthers tonight. He made 18 saves along the way. This was also a night of the Sams for the Florida Panthers. Sam Bennett, his goal was assisted by Sam Reinhart. Sammy Samaskevich, he got a goal in this game as well. So it was just a fun little fact from this game. The Panthers, they are without Matthew Tkachuk right now. He missed his second game in a row due to getting injured in the Four Nations faceoff. So that is a player that they desperately want to have back. He is a very important part to that team. The Panthers, they're having an absolutely dog crap season. Let's just say it how it is. They are not good whatsoever. They picked up their 30th loss of the season. They are now 20-30-7. They have lost 2 in a row after winning their past 2, so it just goes yay and then super nay, and it's just not good. UC Saros, he is supposed to be this all-star Finnish crazy good goalie, and he is just stinking up the joint. Club-wise and international-wise. We saw him in the Four Nations faceoff, and he just didn't look good whatsoever and didn't last very long either, let's just be honest. He has not been good. Let's just say it. He made 21 saves tonight, and it wasn't good enough. To add insult to injury, the Nashville Predators, they lost their captain and star defenseman Roman Josi in the third period after getting absolutely plastered by Sam Bennett. I kind of lied earlier in the segment. I said it was Sammy Samaskevich. I was extremely incorrect. It was Mackie Samaskevich, but that Sam is still in the last name, so I'll take it. One other highlight from this game was Justin Sordiff. I think that's how you say it. He got his first career NHL goal in his 4th game, so that is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations to you, Justin. That is a memory that you will have forever. So the Florida Panthers, they continue to play very good hockey even without their star forward Matthew Tkachuk, and they win 4-1. Our last game of the evening is the Utah Hockey Club taking on the Chicago Blackhawks in Utah, where the Utahns, they win 2-1, sending their home fans happy. Lawson Crouse was the hero in the third period with just about halfway through the third period, and he scored in regulation to get the win for the Utah Hockey Club. Just a quick side note, I heard somebody today online saying, oh, these are all stupid names that the Utah Hockey Club could be called, blah, 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 blah. I agree with one. The Utah Hockey Club, I wouldn't like it at all. Well, I wouldn't like it at all. I just wouldn't like it compared to the other two, Mammoth and the Outlaws. I argued back saying Outlaws was my favorite, Mammoth a close second. And he's like, well, if you're going to name it Outlaws, you got to name it the Cowboys. I'm like, why? It makes no sense. Why would you name a team? The Outlaws are tougher. They're cooler than Cowboys. They're very tough. But let's just stick with the Outlaws, and I hope that wins. Back to the game. Captain Clayton Keller was the other goal scorer for the Utah Hockey Club. He got his team leading 21st goal of the season. The Utahns, they are now 26-24-9. They have won 5 of their past 7 games, so they are looking much, much better than they were a couple weeks ago. Karel Vejmelka, he was in net for the Utah Hockey Club tonight. He made 21 saves, helping his team get the win. Utah, they have put themselves right in the picture for the last wildcard spot in the Western Conference. They are currently, I'm looking at my phone so I don't get this mixed up, they are currently 3 points out behind the Calgary Flames, but they do have 2 games in hand, so let's just see if they can make up those points. Seth Jones, we will talk about him in about 30 seconds. He was the lone goal scorer for the Chicago Blackhawks. Arvid Soderblom, he stood on his head tonight to make it even a remotely close game. He made 34 saves in this game. The Blackhawks, Boy, oh boy, are they pathetic. They are 17-34-7. They have lost 4 games in a row and 7 of their last 8 games. This is just so bad from the Blackhawks. They're pathetic. It is just, they aren't watchable right now. They really aren't. Back to Seth Jones. He was very candid a couple days ago saying he hasn't put in an official trade request to get out of Chicago, but he kind of wants to go try to play somewhere more competitive, and who blames him? Let's be honest. It does come tough, and he admitted that himself, saying he has a very high cap hit, which makes it hard for some teams. So it would maybe have to be a major retention by the Blackhawks or a three-way team where there's retention on both sides. It would be a big deal to get this guy moved, but after this game, he was even more candid, saying it's very bad. He's like, it sucks being at the bottom of the league. He's saying just everything. He's saying we shouldn't be making our goalie stand on his head night in, night out and just have a chance to win. We have to win some games. And he was just, you can see the defeat in his eyes. And I think it's inevitable that this guy's going to get traded now. He is starting to talk very candidly, not making fun of the team, but just making it more evident that this team really does suck. Jones, it was his goal that opened the scoring of this game, but then it was Clayton Keller with less than a minute left in the second period. Krause, like I just mentioned at the top of the segment, he got the game-winning goal in the third period. The Utah Hockey Club, they win at home 2-1 against the pathetic Chicago Blackhawks. All right, that is it for our first night back doing recaps in a couple weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world that people are watching these videos. Thanks to all my new subscribers. We have 90 subscribers. That's not nothing. So let's continue to grow this channel. I'm having a blast doing this. So I hope you guys are having a blast watching these videos. Let me know if there's anything I could change to help help you guys enjoy the experience some more. So we will see you tomorrow. There's only 2 or 3 games. We will see you then. Have a great night. Take care.